Hey Dan, it's July 2016. I've returned from Brussels, and I am going to try to get caught up on some old video. So this is actually a video from June, and it is of Trinona, the triathlons in Winona in June, and then the next weekend it's of a triathlon in Alaska, which is next to La Crosse, Wisconsin, that Preston did by himself. So, yeah, that way you kind of know what I'm going to be talking about here.
Sorry, there's a total of Tacoma.
Hold on.
To Tacoma. I'm going to Everett.
Sorry.
So I have
Okay.
a bottle of antibiotics. That's it.
So this is obviously Preston at the Tri, waiting to run. There's my runner in the orange tank top in the background. So I've already finished. This is at Trinona. I've already finished. And here comes Ian, my biker, handing off to Nick, my runner. So, you know, nothing really to report. It was just a run-of-the-mill triathlon, really, for us. And I was really more excited about getting video of Preston. So here's Mitchell, which is Preston's good friend, who just finished the bike, coming to hand off to Preston. And yeah, it was actually really exciting watching these guys race.
I'm going across my bridge.
Yeah, and here comes Preston, and off he goes. So as you probably know, it's actually a lot more fun. Well, no, I would rather be racing too, but it's fun to watch your kid race. So there comes Nick. I don't know if you can hear the announcer say that this is the first team to finish. It's actually the first finisher, period. We beat everybody in the race, but I think I had told you the standings got messed up. And the timing chips messed up, and so the only finisher that they had was in the men's relay was Preston's team, which I thought was really funny. So they got first place. And this was the race that I was, and there comes Preston, looking good. This was the one that I swam really hard against Steve and just beat him out to the finish line. So these are just pictures of Preston and his friends. Baker, the guy on his left, is a swimmer, and he swam for their team. And then his older brother, Logan, who's a senior in high school, is working at Mugby right now, which is kind of cool. And then here's a picture of each of them on the podium, and I took 3 pictures with each one standing on the first place side. Just blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, sorry, I gotta quick fix this. Okay, so now here's Preston at the Alaska Triathlon, and of course he's doing all 3 legs himself, and that was actually really cool. So here they all start. That's the timing where they ran across that mat. That started their time, and there goes Preston, and you can see down where that yellow boat is at the very end. That's where they have to swim around and then come up out of the water again. So it was supposed to be 400 yards, but his time was actually 10 seconds faster than my time was when I swam the 400 at Trinona. So maybe he's just really fast. Who knows? But you know, I think I've talked about this before. Where water's concerned, the distances are never the same twice. There's Glenn and Lisa. They also did the La Crosse Tri. And then, of course, there's my dad and me. And then here is, I think that's Preston coming out of transition. And what I did is I just was taking pictures as I shot the video. So here he is in transition. I missed him coming out of the water because he was so fast coming out of the water. It was faster than I expected. And so this was a long transition for him. because he had to get his wetsuit off, he had to get his socks on, get his shoes on. You know, often triathletes will wear, I can't remember the brand, but they're just literally like slip-on shoes that they can, or excuse me, what they'll do is they'll have their shoes in their cleats on their pedals already, and then they put on their slip-on shoes when they come to run. But Preston was using toe clips. So he was just gonna, you know, had put on his socks and running shoes before he ever started biking.
I have my brightness up, so it's not.
And oh, sorry for the bad video job. And there he comes. But this was his first triathlon by himself. Yeah, and off he goes. So. Anyway, it was cool. It was cool watching him. And then now this is the start. That's Glenn waving. This is the start of Glenn's race.
I'm not near you. I'll come out and help you.
And of course that's Lisa.
Okay, now let's go.
But anyway, it was fun being out there. It was fun watching them. The water was really beautiful. I wish I could have swam in it. Of course I do, right?
Crawlers.
But I have nothing really to say. What am I trying to say here, Dan? So there they go.
I think this is a police station.
And Preston ended up, well, you'll see when he finishes. It was a really, really hot day. It was almost 90 that day, and fortunately, they finished pretty early in the morning. So here comes Preston in on his bike. I would probably have way more to say and intelligent things to say if I had actually made this video soon after I shot it. So there he goes zooming by on his bicycle. And here he is in transition. And so really all he has to do is put his bike up, take his helmet off, and put his, so what he's got is he's got a, essentially a belt, a snap-on belt that has his bib number on it. All he has to do is just put it around his waist and go. Unfortunately, the run was about the slowest part for him. Kind of expected him to do it in 19 minutes or under. He ended up doing it in 24 minutes.
Really?
But that's because he was doing a triathlon. He just wasn't ready for, didn't know quite what to expect in terms of effort that he was going to expend. He really blew a lot out in the swim and the run. So this is Glenn coming out of the lake. Yeah, there he is. And for Glenn and Lisa, they come over and do this every year, and for them it's just a fun triathlon. And there goes Lisa.
Don't eat them, you're not a zombie.
But it was it was a brutal transition from swim to bike because you had to run up out of the lake, up this really long hill.
I'm inside the building.
And now here comes Preston in on his finish. As it turns out, Preston took first in his age group by about a minute and a half. Maybe it was 3 minutes, but that was primarily due to the biking time because his swim time was comparable. His bike time was 5 minutes better than anybody else in his age group. So that was good. Obviously, this is him going to get his trophy. So anyway, it was neat. It was really fun. It was fun to watch Preston do his first triathlon. Of course, who doesn't want to finish first in your age group, right? So he was really happy with that.
I'm going to get in the car.
But yeah, I think that's my story. I'm going to stick to it. And I will no doubt talk to you when I talk to you. So be well, man.